Good evening, everyone.
Hello to all you out there.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Hitch podcast. Of course, we're coming to you live here from very chilly Baltimore, Maryland.
Bit nippy over here
Quite nippy.
in the month of May.
But hey, that's only God telling us that football season's coming around. So we want to welcome y'all to yet another episode of the Hitch podcast. Of course, y'all know us, and if you don't, well, we gonna tell you. I'm your boy Nick Ransom.
I'm Jamar Smith.
And look, y'all, we got a show for y'all tonight. Of course, as many of y'all saw last week, and as we went through last week, the draft had a lot of interesting things.
A lot more at a very quick pace.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
It wasn't even like we could get through the first 10 picks before something, I'll say dramatic, because it was, it's an event. The NFL draft is now an event. It was a very dramatic moment. We already knew who our ones and twos were as far as quarterbacks. We just didn't know who was going to be first and second. But we knew it was going to be two quarterbacks.
But what we didn't know is one team was willing to trade back up.
Just right to get
right back up. After getting one of what they absolutely needed, trading right back up to get something else of what they absolutely needed. Or could it be a certain old man trading back just to spite a division rival?
It could very well be that. And the crazy thing is, in that moment in time, we felt like it was stupid. We felt it was a dumb decision, a dumb move. It's a classic move by this particular person. But we all thought it was a dumb move. But hindsight is 20/20.
And we'll get into that a little later. As y'all see, we're going to basically be breaking down some of our favorite teams or some of the biggest acquisitions from last week's draft. We're going to go through both conferences, both the NFC and AFC. We're going to start with basically two teams within each conference. We're going to go through not only the news within these teams and what's going on thus far, but those acquisitions of late, those draft acquisitions from last week. And what probably, more than likely, break into how we feel these acquisitions will help
or hinder
these teams this year. And let's just say you'll be surprised with some of these arguments. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So without further ado, we want to definitely start with some news with what's been going on in the league. I mean, not much outside of the draft. We all know that. Okay? There's been some decent signings going on. But what's caught our eye has been just how quick some of these teams, one in particular, has signed a newly acquired player. One of which, I want to say they signed for the future, but J-Mark, get into the deal. We'll talk a little, get into it.
Okay, so let's get the ball rolling here. Okay, we talking about the Eagles.
Talk about it.
That's number one. We're talking about the Eagles. We already know about the deal for Jalen Hurts. The newly acquired 5-year, $255 million contract with 179 guaranteed. We knew about that, right?
And I love it. I love that.
It's a great deal for him. It's a great deal. This other deal, however, I'm a little skeptical about. The newly acquired draftee, Jalen Carter,
not NFL player, but draftee.
This guy gets a 4-year, $21 million fully guaranteed contract.
Wait a minute.
I know, I got confused too when I just said it.
Fix it, Jesus.
Yeah.
So they paid 21 guaranteed to a player that has not played a down in this league.
Not a single snap, but gave him fully guaranteed money.
Now, don't get me wrong, America. The kid is a beast. Go back and watch his college tape. He has been injured. That's a red flag. But if you go back and watch his college tape, statistically, I would say above average. Did what he needed to do throughout his years. But so much so for a guaranteed deal as a rook.
I don't understand what the logic behind that is. For a rookie. Maybe a third year.
Oh my
player.
gosh, yes. If
You
you're
know what I
talking
mean?
about
like,
we're getting to the end of our rookie deal, and now it's
and they
like
should get,
either franchise tag year or extension year. Absolutely.
But we're talking about a kid who had off the field issues. He was coming off an injury, tore his pec. Didn't play. I believe 3 or 4 games last year. Done.
Benito.
And we're giving him a fully guaranteed contract because why?
And like I said, the kid is not bad. He's a great kid on the field, and he's working to be even better off the field. You know, kids go through stuff. We've all been through it.
You're young and dumb. There's a reason that people say it.
So I'm on his side when it comes down to the player, because I know there's a lot of potential, a lot of upside in the player in itself. But make this make sense as the businessman.
You can't. You're paying, what is it, $6 million a year? You're
Basically,
paying $6 million a year
for the next 4 years.
For the next 4 years, potential. Well, no, because the 5th-year option will get picked up, and that'll change all of that.
That's
so,
if. Which is even worse, because if they don't pick it up, he's walking away with 21 guaranteed.
He got his money's worth for his first 4 years in the league.
I just don't get it.
So I'm thinking that this might be one of those things where Howie Roseman, GM for the Eagles, he's thinking long term because it doesn't have a major impact on their salary cap.
Okay.
So I'm thinking maybe he's thinking, we get this kid this money. If he doesn't pan out, we don't burn that much in our salary cap because I believe the first year is, it's $3 million.
Yeah, I mean, $6 million guaranteed
like
per year is nowhere near.
It's not killing your cap space.
Around $3 million guaranteed in cap.
And then if he pans out, then we really pay him. We really give him the money, and the Eagles have the salary cap to do so. They've had it for the last 2 years. They're good with managing their money.
Okay. Unlike
the Buccaneers, but that's beside the point. They're good at managing their money, so I believe this is one of those financial things where it's like long term, having this fully guaranteed contract is just like wiping sweat off my forehead.
But that's a lot of what if into somebody that they have not seen play in between the hashes. Like I said, I love him, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate because y'all know how I like to do. Kid, I believe, had a pectoral injury through college.
In his last year of college.
Last year of college. Devil's advocate, of course. I don't wish this upon anyone, but as a coach, as a businessman, you have to think this way. What happens if week 2 he goes out with another pec injury? Then what? He'll be back week 14, maybe week 15.
I'd have to give you a generic answer. And I'd have to say, next man up mentality. I'd have to give you that, because what more can I give you?
I'm not paying $6 million guaranteed a year for a next man up mentality.
But that's what you're going to do.
And what you said that's the reason why I just can't get with this deal, bro. I love it for the player. It just makes no sense for the business aspect. Because what you're saying is that win or lose, $6 million per year to somebody that's never played in this league makes sense. When there's literally structured deals for these players through the first 5 years that gives them minimums. A signing bonus, which probably would have been around 13 to 14, maybe 15 million, but then 2 to 3 per year.
As opposed to double that of 6.
Boom. I just don't see it. I hope for the best, Eagles Nation. I hope that this works. I think it will. I just, like I said, the businessman in me does not like the deal. But the football player in me is glad the kid got his money. Let's get to work. On to the next. You know?
Since we're still talking about the Eagles, let's talk about who else they've acquired. Not only in the draft. Actually, is it through the draft? Right after the draft.
Literally.
So Nolan Smith is another player that the Eagles drafted first round. Great pick, number 30. Pick overall. Like, I think that's a great addition to their team because both these players, Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith, they're replacement players.
Yeah,
they're going to be replacement players for Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham.
As you said before, the future. How he's thinking future.
Right.
Okay.
Sidney Brown, that's another kid, another safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be that replacement for Gardner Johnson, in my opinion, and probably Slay down the line. I'm not 100% sure how they plan to.
Yeah, I don't.
adjust their safety. You know, their
that
safety
Darius Slay
room,
situation is gonna be a nice conversation the Eagles are gonna have down the line.
Because they're going to have to
this year.
figure out what they want to do. But they also acquired DeAndre Swift,
Bruh.
which
I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Gold mine. Really? You know why you didn't think that? Because DeAndre Swift is always hurt. And he was on the Lions, and nobody cared about the Lions till last year.
So that's a gold mine for Eagles Nation?
I mean, he's better. I hate to say it, he's better than Miles Sanders as a productive back.
When them boys right over there on the other side of town, down a little south, where they got everything bigger in Texas. Them boys, Dallas got that boy Deuce with the deuce.
Since you brought them up.
You saying Swift is a good adjustment, but Deuce...
I think, Deuce is different.
Deuce.
Deuce is different.
Bruh.
For those who don't know, the Cowboys drafted Deuce Vaughn, running back out of Kansas State, in the 6th round.
Which he should have been higher.
Well, why do you think his stock dropped so bad?
Because it was such a defensive and fat man laden draft. One, the running back market outside of the draft is...
Boo-boo the fool.
Literally. It's maybe $3 million guaranteed a year with a $5 million...
like a $12 million total?
Yeah, with contract. 6, 7 in incentives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then it's just like, okay, we use you for 4, you're done. You go through 2 teams, that's an 8-year career, you're out of the league, and then would have made a multitude of maybe $60 million. Clownish. So, I felt a lot of the 32 teams, 31, because I know one coach really loves running backs, but 32 teams, we're going to say all 32, I feel they walked in thinking, well, we need to hit not only the skill positions, but we need to hit the big men. Hence the reason why so many DNs, tackles, offensive linemen, guards.
But this was a new breed of these guys. These big men, these big beefy men up on the front line, from defense to offense. Once the ball started rolling on them, they were out of there. For those, if you didn't pay attention last week, offensive tackle. Who was the first one off the board?
I don't remember, but it was so quick. It was like the doors opening on a Black Friday sale.
Once one went, you saw another, then another, then another. Then at that point, you're like, well, I might as well wait.
And they kept going and going. It
was a great draft, and I believe the Cowboys, since you brought up Deuce.
I'm saying because
the Cowboys had a phenomenal draft.
Talk about it.
They picked up what they needed, and I'm going to name these 3, including Deuce over here. Okay. Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle. They needed that big interior defensive lineman because
my God.
That run game was abysmal. Absolutely garbage.
Abysmal garbage.
And then they get Luke Schoonmaker, tight end.
Now we're gonna spend some time, a couple seconds on this one. I like to jump in on the tight end position because what I feel Dallas has always been missing since that big Mr. Witten left was a good tight end. Somebody to solidify the hashes. 10, 20 yards.
Yeah.
Mr. Shukamukamuka.
Schoonmaker.
My man, go back and watch his college tape. Everything he did was work not only off the block, which I love from tight ends. If you can disguise a route off the block, bruh, that's 10 times open. Look at Gronkowski's career. Look at Tony Gonzalez's career.
Straight up.
Exactly.
Real quick though, you brought up Gronk. I just had it was a quick story I saw real quick.
Okay.
And we can get back to it.
What is Gronk doing?
So,
did he spike another?
He talked about one of his first year with the Patriots, right? Mm-hmm. He talked about how like you were talking about being on the line and blocking. He had to do a wham block against your boy, Mr. Will Fork.
You mean big 7'5", big 350-pound goat up the middle at nickel.
He was telling this story on one of the podcasts, and he was saying how, he thinks that, or he knows somebody told Vince, like, hey, we got Gronk coming in on this wham block. We want to see what he got.
So they lit him up on purpose.
Lay the wood on him. Yeah, lay the wood on him. And he said he came running. He said Vince played it real well, like he didn't know what was going on. He said he came around for that wham block full speed. And he said Vince Wilfork lowered that shoulder, boom, laid him out. Laid him out around the ground.
How you speaking of Jesus?
Yeah, but what you learned
So welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, but what they learned from that was this kid is tough.
Yep.
this kid can handle himself, because they said you ran full speed, and most people don't do that. So understand this, young NFL or young football players in general. You got to go full speed. You have to do it as if it's a real game. You can't half-ass it. A lot of kids, a lot of people today in general half-ass stuff. You can't do that. If you want to succeed, you got to do it 100%.
Bro, one
and
thing
people notice.
I've heard, and I'm sure a lot of the athletes, your parents, you know, cousins, uncles, aunts, a lot of the athletes of the past have heard this saying, that you practice how you play.
Mm-hmm.
Key and point. You give your all in everything that you do, even if no one's watching, because someone's always watching.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in my room and I'm a baseball player and I'm taking dry cuts, I need to take them with the mentality of outside part of the plate, center half, middle end, middle high, middle low, out low. Like, that's how you need to. Look at it. If I'm a football player, quarterback in itself, and I'm working on my footwork, my pocket, my tee, and I'm, again, in my room on a rainy day, I'm not just lackadaisically going through it, because do you think Big Vince Wilfork was lackadaisically going for Gronk?
Absolutely not.
Nah.
Not even a little bit.
You practice how you
He
play.
really charged up to just...
I'm going to lay you out. So as the quarterbacks should be working and playing, it's like, as I'm practicing as if I'm mid-game. Heads up. Keep moving. Arm, like, literally, compacted. Stay up. Head moving. Go through your reads. I don't want none of the lackadaisical, because if you do that in the room as you're practicing, guaranteed you play 10 times worse.
Oh, yeah.
So you practice how you play. And quite frankly, that boy Deuce plays exactly how he practices, and practices how he plays. So go Dallas.
With a 4.3 speed? Is it 4.3?
It's a sub 4.3. It was like a 4.28.
Oh.
Deuce and a half. Gung, gung, gung.
So I'm interested to see how the Cowboys plan to utilize him going forward now, because you got rid of your big back, right? So you got just Tony Pollard and now Deuce.
Well, okay, so we go back a few weeks to where we first discovered that Dallas let go of Zeke, and we both did not like that move. We understood it was a money option, but we knew that Zeke was willing to drop to the lowest of the lowest just to stay in Dallas. All right?
Right.
So with Pollard coming off of an ACL, MCL, with Deuce and a half, Deuce and a quarter, sitting there coming in, I'm just throwing this out, Dallas Nation. Why not go get Zeke back for a veteran back? Third down guy. Literally, you're going to run the ball 10 times a game on third and shorts. And you'll sit for $2 million, $2 to $3 million a year, vet men, and you'll sit on the bench majority of the time and teach Deuce while Pollard does whatever he did last year.
If he's healthy. Because that's the other part. He might not even be ready for the start of the season, or at least training camp. Because that injury was late. That wasn't no early injury.
So now, does this not make what I just said 10 times more effective?
It does. It makes it more effective, but that's if they want to go. I feel like they've gone down this route, right?
With Zeke?
Just in terms of having him already. We know what Zeke has. We know what his capabilities are. It's different from Pollard's, obviously, and that's why Pollard got the biggest attraction when he made the big splash plays that Zeke used to make in his rookie year. They might be like, we've been down that road. We're taking a whole different approach.
So Deuce is the new Zeke.
I think
in a different generation of Dallas
speed.
Cowboys.
Yeah, but with more speed. I think like that's how they plan to integrate him. And this is just on the offensive side of the ball. We haven't talked about the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, I'm still on offense because you're not going to run past like offenses and still ran by Charlie Brown. I hear you, but I'm looking for more vets on that offense. Micah came out after Dallas lost last year and literally said, in a sense, quote unquote, but not necessarily officially quoted, basically saying that the defense did exactly what they needed to do by holding a team offensively that can score an average close to 30, 40 points, holding them to 20 some odd points, while I'm sorry, about to call him Dak Brown, because that is Charlie Brown, but Charlie Brown, while my man comes in and gets outplayed by Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's true.
So my issue, if I'm Dallas, and the reason why I was bringing up the Zeke situation is because I'm looking at it like this. There's no way in hell I trust Dak. 4 is not my franchise. It's not because of his inability to play, but it's more so of his inability to think. He gives me very much Jameis Winston when y'all got him.
I'm fine with that.
And the fact that I said that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Got a lot of potential, but why would you just? Why? We 10 points up, and you just threw a 60-yard pick.
But so let me counter with this. It's such an offensive-heavy league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the league we're in. Don't you think with the way Dallas has structured their team that they have that ability to be that shut-down defense where it's like, it doesn't matter how great your offense is because my defense is A1, 21.
That means nothing. Their defense was top 3 last year and still lost first round. Pin drop.
What I'm saying.
That's what I'm getting. But I hear you. A great defense only goes as far as what arsenal you have to use to counter with. I can go and say, walk into a war any day with tons of armor on and know, oh yeah, any 9mm, any AK, any normal size round, even a 50 cal, I'll be fine. But if I have nothing to shoot back, I'm just walking into 50 cal bullets. At some point, it's going to break. I can bend as much, but I'm going to break. If I have nothing to counter the bend, the break is always going to hit quicker. So I'm looking at it in a sense, well, okay, they have to do what they need to do offensively to solidify the shutout for the defense. As Bill Belichick would say, we'll give you the ball first for my defense to get it back so we can get the ball. Still in the 0-0 game, but have a chess piece already ahead of you. They need to get there. I'm totally sure that they can get to that first chess piece, but the 6th chess piece, are you going to be able to switch that up? I don't trust Dak is able to switch up from defense working for the offense to offense now working for the defense. I don't know, but I don't think Dallas's defense trusts Dak enough to take over for the defense. So that's where the issue is. Either you trust Dak Prescott, number 4, Charlie Brown, to run your entire offense with the weapons you have, and trust that he can put up 30 points with what you have on paper. Offensively, trust he can put up 30 points. If you don't think he can do that, that's not the quarterback. If you're saying he could put up 30, but I need my defense to have a couple picks and a fumble, that's not my quarterback. You see what I'm saying? I need to know, like your Patrick. Oh, my defense is going to come out. Y'all can go through shit offensively. My defense is going to come out and hold the ball, hold them to 14 points. You're going to come out in 10 minutes, put up 21 on the board like it's nothing once you figure it out. That's what you're looking for. Can you say that about Dak?
No.
Could you say that about Jameis Winston when he was with y'all?
Absolutely not.
Quite frankly, and as much as I love Mac Jones, I can't even say that about Mac.
But with Mac,
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Because you know what I'm about to ask you.
Go ahead. Okay, so let's.
Is it because we've talked about the Cowboys. We gotta keep it moving anyway. We can jump to the Pats real quick, jump back, whatever. Is it more of a Mac thing? Because you were talking about how if my offense isn't what it is, it's gonna be trash, and it starts with the quarterback. We all know the head is the quarterback. Is it Mac Jones, or are we still just saying that this is now coaching? Because we saw what they did in the draft, and it looked like they felt like they were fine with where they were offensively.
You know I'm never going to put it on Mac. In my opinion, Mac Jones is year 1 Mac Jones. He's coming into year 2 in my mind right now. When really...
We're excluding this past season.
Because that was Bill Belichick fucking him. With lack of better words. Sorry, my words, America, but that's exactly what it was. It was Bill Belichick, an 80-year-old man, in his ways, wanting to do things his way, and still has yet to come out and said he was wrong. But we'll leave that there underneath the table. So no, it's not Mac. I'm not saying Mac is a bad quarterback, or nor can I trust him. What I'm saying is that Mac needs that bounce off between coaching, system, defense, offensive players in order to be great. Now, he's not in the same league as a Jalen Hurts or Dak. Why? He's not mobile. So he needs all of this stuff. So if I would have put Mac Jones in that same situation, give him the squad that Dak has, quite frankly, I'm picking Mac over Dak. But where I am is saying, okay, I've still seen things out of Mac that has me scratching my head as to say, all right, well, I don't need him to be in that situation anymore. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seems like Dallas did that for Dak last year in getting him all of these weapons offensively, and they've done so this year. Stack the offense. Not to mention what they did both years, last and this year, on defense. So, to me, they're 99% there. That 1% is for Charlie Brown. I don't trust Charlie Brown, and it's going to fall on Charlie Brown. So, I hope Deuce
Yeah.
does what he needs to.
Well,
And that's why I was saying, at the end of the day, I did not agree with getting rid of your veteran back. One that knew Charlie Brown fully. That was there before Charlie Brown. There's Tony Romo days. Zeke came in Tony's last year. You forgot about that. Remember?
Yeah, because Tony had back problems, so he didn't even
Tony
finish
Romo
his
went out
season.
preseason
Yeah, he
because
didn't
of
even
a
play.
block that Zeke missed. So it's like, that's somebody you don't get rid of. That's somebody you keep around to teach, especially if you don't trust your quarterback. So them getting rid of Zeke tells me you trust Dak more than Zeke, which to me was not the right move. But the fact that they got Deuce and a quarter, Deuce and a half,
I just think that
Deuce
that
on
was-
24s.
I think a lot of the Zeke movement is just what we talked about. We think it was movement for salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no other argument. Like, we can talk about the down years and all that, but him and Tony Pollard were that 1-2 punch. It was getting good, really good, and then once again somebody, it just happened to be Tony Pollard this time, had to get hurt, and it's just like, you saw a flip of the coin with it,
Bruh.
So with that being said, we're going to shift to another part. We staying in Texas, but
Okay.
we're moving over to Houston.
Ooh.
Yes, Houston made some trades or made some great acquisitions in the draft with, first of all, C.J. Stroud.
Bruh.
Number 2 overall, C.J. Stroud. Then they jumped back up to number 3, took the spot of the Arizona Cardinals to get Will Anderson Jr. They hit that double dip.
Y'all remember beginning of the show we talked about a team
about
that
that.
did a double dip?
Mhm.
Yeah.
They hit that double dip.
You know, black folks, we don't like double dipping.
No, we don't.
No. You get one dip, you better get enough on that chip,
Mm-hmm.
and you leave. You don't come back and let me get some more of that. Nah, bruh.
You better get a new chip.
You better get a new chip. I
better
don't
get
even
a
want
new
you
chip.
turning that chip around. You better get a new chip, or you ain't getting no more dip. Texas definitely double dip.
So what are we going to see from the Texans this year? I'm not expecting nothing masterful. I'm not expecting no 10-win season.
I will say 7 wins.
Right. But I am expecting improvement across the board.
Especially by, okay. I just want to put this in this perspective for you guys, because we are a couple months out of Black History Month. You have a country bumfuck Texas team with a new African American head coach, 5-year deal, soon to be run by, your new African American rookie quarterback. More than likely 5 years. Probably more. And that offensive or defensive line, Mr. Williams, another African American, another 5-year monster. Are some things really big happening in Texas right now, bro?
Oh yeah, they coming on the upswing.
Is the culture coming down south?
Oh, you
The
know
culture?
it. You know it.
First of all, I'm so happy D'Amico got the job.
Yeah,
I'm huge.
Deserving. Well,
D'Amico Ryans, the new head coach of the Houston Texans, got a 5-year deal, and hopefully, and it sounds like we'll have enough time to work through this 5 years, have enough time to really address the needs of the team, which is every damn position, build, grow, and be better. Quite frankly, what they've done this year, if they can come out 7 wins this year, do what they did this year, or do what they did in this year's draft next year, I have them as a playoff team in 3 years.
I can see that. But let me put this in perspective for you guys so y'all can understand why we feel this way.
Easy.
C.J. Stroud, in his last season, threw for 3,688 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions.
In that last season, for the people, wasn't at no Liberty University, wasn't at no D3 Dell State,
Nope.
wasn't at no Creighton or anything of that nature. Bruh, he's going through legit NCAA conferences.
Yep. And mind you, he did all this with a 66% completion percentage. Excuse me.
So he's playing dogs, and he's even being the bigger dog as he plays.
Ohio State.
Bruh, the
Yeah, you're
Ohio
right.
State. Don't do
You're
that. You're not about to get a shot up.
You're right.
It's the Ohio State.
But you know what, though? I have to say this.
Bruh.
Ohio State, they don't have a good quarterback factory over there.
They never did.
That's what I'm saying. So what can we expect different from C.J. Stroud?
The fact that this is a league that emphasizes a mobile quarterback is all that matters. I've seen enough on tape from C.J. Stroud to have enough confidence that he's able to make a read pre-snap. May not be a big one, but he's able to know exactly, well, not exactly, but to know of at least half the field what the defense is trying to do. And he's able to adjust. I've seen enough tape where the kid has pulled down in an RPO situation and dropped a 20-yard, 25-yard dart over the middle to a tight end or to a deep post 30 yards down the middle off of RPO. I've seen it. So it's just a matter of get the kid a line, which they have not done yet. So that's why we're talking about this year. It's going to be rough. Get the kid a line. You get him some running backs.
As long as he don't end up like David Carr, that's all that matters. As long as he don't end up like David Carr, that's all that matters.
For the people that don't know, and we'll just have a moment of silence for David Carr. Yes. Okay, so for the people that don't know, David Carr had an illustrious career. If your career stat meant how many quarterback hits you got. Sacks, hits, tackles, shits of that nature.
All of it.
When I tell you, Derek Carr played literally, 3 years?
About 3-4 years.
3 years with the Texans. And probably out of the whole year, maybe 80% of his gameplay was on the ground, being tackled by the
he had
defense.
over 100 sacks within 3 years.
The Texans, I know they were a brand new team, but they were trash.
Hot garbage.
Garbage. Or as Miss Nelson would say, J-Mar.
Basura.
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 Trash. They had no line. They had no wide receiving core, running back core. No, they did have. They did not, because I'm thinking the Seahawks. I'm thinking of Sean Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
The only thing the Texans had going for them was when they drafted Mario Williams.
Mari Willie.
That was the only thing back then. That was the only thing.
And then since then, it was Deshaun Watson and D-Hop. And you see where that went. So, I think
Arian Foster. Because you were goated. Arian Foster.
All right, now. Yeah, Arian, bruh. You nasty. He was nasty. I remember a couple games.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just like that.
Texans used to eat us up.
You just on the wrong team.
Yes, sir.
But this new Texans team, they're revamping. They're going to be different. They're going to be relentless. That's the best word I can put it for how this Texans team is going to be relentless.
We
saw
word.
how they were last year, where it didn't matter. They fought to the very end. That's about to get amped up another level.
Yep, because now they got the juice to do so.
Mm-hmm. Now, let's stay in the division of the AFC South.
Mm.
We were talking about how mobile quarterbacks are the new norm. Well, the Colts got them one hell of a running quarterback. And
Which not many in America knew. I wish I would have put money on that one.
Including me, because, you'd have won some bread off of that one. But the Colts take Anthony Richardson, the Florida quarterback whose stats was off the charts, or his arm was off the charts. They take him 4th overall to go to Indianapolis.
Bruh.
He is an Indianapolis Colt.
Love it.
And the best part of this is he doesn't have to start right away.
Not one bit. Not one bit.
He can sit.
Because the Colts not trying to win shit.
They
don't have a veteran quarterback. They don't have somebody that's viable to win games right now, but they have somebody that has played in the NFL and that can hold that position until, my man Ant. We just gonna call him Ant over here. My man Ant is ready. And quite frankly, don't do what they did to Malik in Tennessee. If you're cool with dropping 16 games this year, having a couple first-round picks next year, getting Anthony Richardson what he needs, as well as having him already on a year on the bench, learning.
Because he's going to, I'm about to say, the only way he plays is probably garbage minutes or, in packages. Simple, little packages that they want to throw him out there in.
I don't know, though, bro. I know I just said that, have him sit. But let's just dissect the Colts right now. They, under J.J. Taylor, Jonathan Taylor, of course, still have probably one of the top 10 running back cores in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Offensive line's still good, too.
Offensive line is probably top 15. They would just be,
people, y'all, I need y'all to not take last year as showing that the Colts offensive line was shit. No, they were banged up. Bad. That offensive line was banged all the way up to hell.
And you said it last year. You said it last week. Their main goal last year was to chase the ring.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do what they needed to do or whatever they had to do to bring in talent for 1 year to keep them as close to a potential Super Bowl opportunity. It did not work. They learned from it, and now I feel it really humbled them after their Andrew Luck days. Quite frankly, I see, and I hate to say this early because I don't like to put my foot in my mouth, but just from the tape I've watched, interviews from the kid, and how Indy likes to run their offense, run base, scheme the base, outside run base.
Outside zone run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Anthony Richardson in about 2-3 years is rocking just what A. Luck did. Got Indianapolis hyped to the point where they are first round bye type hyped. Don't be surprised. All they're missing, secondary and some wide receivers.
They let go. Your boy, defensive back.
Ryan?
Not Ryan. Crap, I'm picturing his face. He was locked down for y'all.
I don't know. Well, let Stephon Gilmore.
There we go.
Get the name before you talk.
Look,
America, tell him to get the name before he got me going through Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan and Stephon Gilmore are not even the same fucking conversation.
They're not, but
But the fact that you did not know what the hell you were talking about
it's
initially.
It's not I didn't know what I was talking about.
Them in the
but
same
his name was escaping me. I'm mad because I pictured his face. I had all of it there.
Hey,
but the name was escaping me.
Uncle Steph, I'm sorry. That was disrespectful. I did not mean to put you in the same conversation or the same sense as that bum.
Regardless.
We're going to blame that on him.
They let him go. He's over there in Dallas. He's going to do his own thing.
And Steph about to eat in Dallas, too.
Of course he is. That defense is relentless.
Steph Gilly, let's get it.
That defense is relentless. But you know what? They don't have their cornerbacks, but they still got their pass rush. They still got some pass rush.
Did they pick up anything cornerback-wise in the draft? Because I don't remember. I don't even think they had many draft picks this year.
They didn't.
I think they gave up a lot when they wanted Matt Ryan.
Yes, they did, and that's the problem.
So America, that takes us back to a couple weeks ago when J-Mar and I were having a conversation on, is it smart enough to really just capitalize or throw all your capital to 1 year's worth of draft and then live the next couple years with a what if?
Wait a minute.
Ooh.
Wait a minute.
We got some breaking news?
We got, I'm looking through their draft here. We wrong, America.
Ooh. Oh, is he shutting us up?
What
they get?
Had a plethora of draft picks, okay?
Oh.
They got 3 defensive backs. They got offensive linemen, 1 defensive lineman, wide receiver, linebacker. So, yeah, first round.
So they did address that defense.
So what they did was, first round was Anthony Richardson, of course. The second round was Julius Brents. That was a defensive back out of Kansas State.
Not ringing a bell. Got to look at some tape, but second round, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, and then they went wide receiver Josh Downs.
Downs. I like that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. They took three defensive backs in this class. They had two.
Huh. All right.
They had like 12 picks themselves.
We stand corrected, Indianapolis.
Yeah. It's only right. I got it in front of me. I might as well use it, right? I got the laptop.
Y'all had some picks.
True facts.
And it sounds like
they did,
3
they
D-backs and a linebacker is what I heard my ear to. Yeah. That's all that I'm looking for.
One linebacker and one defensive lineman with 2 offensive linemen. So they
you solidified with some youthful talent. There'll be issues this year with youth, but that's normal.
Life.
They solidified with at least 6 bodies on defense, or 5 bodies on defense, 2 on offense. 4 on defense, 2 on offense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, okay. Sorry, Indianapolis. We stand corrected.
We apologize.
That still does not take away from the conversation of me saying that Anthony Richardson is y'all's next Andrew Luck.
So y'all just know y'all gonna be booed. Because y'all don't know if y'all don't know who y'all starting quarterback is, Porn Stash, it is Gardner Minshew. That is your starting quarterback as of this moment.
Did you just call this nigga Porn Stash?
Yeah, you seen that mustache, bro. That's a whole thing. That's a whole little porn stash.
Oh my gosh. Bro. And I thought I was keeping it PG and calling him Uncle Rico.
No, it's okay. one of us has to jump off the deep end.
We Napoleon Dynamite over here, but no, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. But yeah, so you guys will not be that great. It's okay. You're building for the future now. This isn't about the right now anymore for the Colts. It's about the future. And incorporating that depth to where y'all can win games. Because you're not a terrible team. Always remember, you're not terrible, okay? We already named your star players. Because you still got Michael Pittman Jr. Let's not forget about that. The wide receiver core is weak, but your star...
Quite frankly, your general manager needs to stay the fuck away from operations.
You talking about Ursay? You talking about Mr. Ursay? Yeah.
I don't care how much respect he has across the league, how much quote-unquote knowledge he has from building a team over the so many odd years. From what I've seen over the last 5 years, he's been through 3 quarterbacks, more than $100 million, and has probably won 15 games. I could go through right now and figure out the math, but I guarantee you, 3 quarterbacks, for sure, over $100 million combined, for sure, and has probably won 15 games at the least, for sure. I don't even need to look at that to know that's the case. And majority of them was last year, 2021.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. When Jonathan was just going stupid. Jonathan Taylor was just going stupid. 100, 200-yard games every week.
Going off on them. But that's...
Jim Irsay needs to stay the fuck out the organization.
Would you say Jim Irsay is being...
Jerry Jones.
He took the words right out of my mouth. Because I was going to say either him or your boy down there, your boy over there in New England. Mr. Billy.
See, Bill Belichick not the GM, but he damn sure play like it. So if he was, I would be like, absolutely. Bill Belichick don't like to pay money, though. Irsay, Jerry, they're willing to give the money.
For no reason.
For no
reason whatsoever.
So I would put them in the same conversation just for the simple fact that they make no sense in building the organization today. Like, all 3 of them we can do without their input in building the future organization. They're still usable, but I don't need you to know, to tell all of Coach Nation that, next year, look, I'm sorry this year was a mess, but next year we're going to get y'all to the playoffs, and then nothing.
You just lied.
Lie
right
to
their
them
face.
Just to be getting a splash quarterback in the next draft. You see what I'm saying? I don't need a GM to come out and say, well, we understand that we didn't give our quarterback last year the best resources. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a new offensive coordinator, and we're going to put weapons all around them through the draft just to get one fucking offensive weapon through the draft. Bill Belichick, it makes no sense. It
doesn't, but that's what
see what I'm saying?
That's what they do. That's what the vocal GMs do, right? They are PR.
They
That's
zig,
what they are.
zig when others zag. I hate
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah, whatever.
No,
Just
they
go-
just
just
try
go.
to take what's more against the grain.
They try to be different. They want to stand out among the crowd.
And there are multiple reasons. One, Jerry looks at it. I want to stand out because that's how I sell tickets. And tell me I'm wrong.
So that's
If I can sell a
absolutely his
story,
whole thing.
and both of us being media people, if we can sell a story, it can. I don't care what the story's about. If I can sell you the story, I've won.
Yeah,
We're talking about kittens having a play party. You're interested.
kittens.
Kitten.
Because you start off with kittens, you
Yeah.
got a whole quarter of the world right there.
Meow. What is this nigga doing meows for?
Meow.
Meow. So it's like.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's just little small stuff. It doesn't have to be the most biggest thing. But if it's something that a large majority of people want to hear or have been wanting, it's easy.
I need
It's
them
real
out
easy.
of the organizational development. You can be a face of the organization. You can be the owner, the money, the pocket. You can be the coach. But if you've shown the inability to build for the next, I'm not giving you any responsibilities for the next. Does that make sense? If you can't get me past stage C, I'm only giving you instructions to get me to B. I'm not even telling you there's a C. Because come the end of B, when you're looking for the next stage, I'm looking at you like, well, you showed me at stage A.5 that you can't get to C. I went on to the next stage. Your services are no longer needed after stage B. Call that Patriot Nation, but that's how I look at it. The fact that my coach does that to players, but no one does that to him, is where my issue is. Patriot Nation, talk about it, get it fixed. On to the next, because I'm getting heated.
Well, you might as well stay heated because we jumping right into your Patriots Nation.
Well, let me take a drink of some Bud Light on this one because, you know.
Go right ahead. So the Patriots did Patriot-like things.
Patriot-esque.
There we go. Patriot-esque things in this here draft once again.
As usual.
We already made little side comments about them trading back to 17 or 18, I believe was
17.
the pick. 17. Drop back to get Christian Gonzalez.
D-back from
D-back.
Oregon. Corner. Love him. Love it.
Yeah, he had 50 tackles, and this is just in his last season. 50 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 7 passes defended.
6'3", 195-pound, defensive back.
Long arms.
Long arms. Great wingspan, real smooth movements. Sounds like he will probably be playing slot corner, which I like. But you know me more than I know me, bro, over the years. I know you're waiting to ask me if I actually like that pick.
Yeah, like, do you like it? Like, it's cool because you have it. You ain't got nothing to do but deal with it. But are you happy about it?
So you telling me go back to night one?
Yeah, I'm curious because, we had a little snafu last week. So, how you feel? What is the real consensus
Absolutely
here?
love Christian Gonzalez, bro. Love the kid. I'm so glad to get him on the squad. I can't wait to get him to work. Fucking hated the pick. Fucking hated the pick. First of all,
Take a sip.
fucking hated the fact that Bill Belichick did a normal Bill Belichick thing. I'm just going to decide to move back. He does it every year, and I feel like it's like a erectional function for him. Like he's like really orgasmically, turned on by.
Yeah.
Oh yes, let me move back out into the second round just to get some extra.
I got another pick.
Compensatories. You see, bro. So I was pissed when we moved back from 14 to 17. Granted, it's only 3 spaces, but you knew who I wanted at 14, and you knew he was still sitting there at 14.
They hadn't even gone on that run of wide receivers until 28, 29, wherever the Vikings picked, because they started it with getting Addison. And that's when the run of wide receivers started, and he couldn't get his guy.
I wanted Zay Flowers.
Yeah, they didn't actually draft a wide receiver until like the 4th round.
6th round. No, 4th. I'm sorry.
I was about to say,
4th.
was it the 6th?
4th.
I was about to say,
4th
you might
round.
as well have just not done it.
LSU dude. Now,
Yeah.
that's going to be nasty.
Booty, what? It was at the corner here. Booty.
Something. It's something with a B.
That's yeah.
He's gonna be disgusting, bruh. Because from the tape I've watched, I've seen this man consistently runs 10-yard slants and breaks them to the house.
You were right. It was the 6th round, and Keyshawn Boutte from
Boutte,
LSU.
okay. LSU, yes, okay. Again, bro, as I'm watching his tape, he's consistently busting 10-yard slants and breaking them to the house. That's ridiculous. You're open doing a Deion Sanders style route. 10-yard in cut, 10-yard out cut, boom. Wide open on the body, boom. Catch it with the hands, and he breaks up field. That's what was I saying all of last year when Matt Patricia's can't say that nowadays. I'm sorry, America. Matt Patricia's
Stupid, dumb,
mentally
ignorant.
Unstable. Because I'm still sticking with mental. Mentally unstable behind decided we just gonna keep running screens. What was I saying? How about you just throw a slant? Throw a slant.
a little in route.
I'll bust your ass in Madden all day long with slants and in routes. Literally. Why can't we just do that? I haven't seen one of them. This one?
Yeah.
The LSU? Mr. Booty? Pause.
That's his last name, guys.
Booty.
That's his last name.
Not Booty, it's Booty. Don't do that to my man.
Saying, bro.
Because he in the locker room.
It's not his fault, but
hey, yo, Booty.
I just know how his life in high school was.
All I'm giving this man, slants, comebacks, skinnies, probably a flag or a corner. But I don't want you going anything outside of 20. Because if I know you're going to be wide open inside the 10, and you're going to break that through to the 20.
So you got him in your slot.
I have him my slot receiver. I have him, if I'm being honest, year 2, taking Juju from the slot. Juju's going to play slot this year. As a veteran, big body, I like Juju's physique more. Booty, that's the 2-man. But then again, you forgot who I love on the 2 side. My man K. Bourne. 84. Can't forget about my man Kendrick Bourne, which is about
He had a down year last year. Well, that wasn't his fault.
He had a fucking down year. We had no coaches.
That wasn't his fault.
I had Alzheimer's and dementia running through the Patriot organization.
That's going to get real quick with them, bro.
We are going to eat. I got Kendrick Bourne, Tyquan Thornton. I got the new kid, Booty. I got Juju. Yes, I got Hunter Henry. I just got Mike Gesicki from
oh my God,
Miami.
y'all do have Mike
Bro,
Gesicki.
Stop. Don't sleep on the Patriots. But everyone's saying we're going to be shit.
Yo.
Cool. I love to be the underdog. Don't sleep on us. That's all I'm saying.
Well, now that we have talked about Patriots, oh, nope, we're not done with you guys, because you guys did the one thing that nobody else in the NFL draft did, and that's draft an HBCU player. Yeah, drafted an HBCU player.
Go us.
You guys drafted Isaiah Bolden from Jackson State.
One of Prom's favorite. And Prom, I'm with you. I agree with your statement. If y'all don't know, Prom has been coming out heavily against the NFL lately since the draft, basically condemning the fact that they continue to overlook HBCU players. I think Colorado had close to 50 or 40, a little over 45.
Well, about 45 to 50.
Yeah, 45 to 50 college players enter the transfer portal. Basically saying the football players that played on the squad entered their name to transfer into the NFL draft. Only one was taken. 32 teams, 7 rounds.
3-day event.
3-day event.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Only one HBCU player was taken. And this is in a league that more than 75% is HBCU. So, Prime, I agree with you, bro. I agree. Now, I like to play the devil's advocate, bro.
Yep. Love that. Let's hear it.
The athlete in me, the man in me, agrees with Prime. The adult in me, the businessman in me, the devil advocate in me will say this, America. There's so much only so much you can do with blind truth. You may have all the intangibles, meaning the speed, the smarts, the charisma, athleticism to play the game. You can have all of that, right? But the circumstance and situation that you come into the equation with still is always the foundation. Jamar, I will ask you this. We're 30. In the 30 years we've been alive, how many HBCU players, prominent HBCU football players, can you actually say got drafted? Drafted. And I mean drafted. Night drafted. Not unrestricted walk-ons, which everyone did in the 90s.
I couldn't even give you a name, bro. I truly couldn't. And it's probably only been a handful that's even done it, if that.
There's been 12. 12.
Ooh, that's more. I'm gonna be real. That's more than
y'all
I thought.
go back but then again,
and that's not even enough.
This is since the AFC NFC was created. Since the merger. 12.
Don't know. That's like past weight.
That's less than one a year. You're taking a quarter of a man per year from HBCUs. But majority of this league, majority of the names you have on y'all's jerseys, from Mahomes all the way to the Watsons, all the way to the Elliots, down to the Beckhams.
It's if y'all don't know, the merger was back in 1966. I want to throw that out there so y'all can truly comprehend.
This 2023.
How long ago?
Almost 60 years.
We've had this merger, and only 12 have been taken.
Prominent.
HBCU's been around a lot longer than some damn 1966.
Talk about it. We talking about Marshall. We talking about Dell. We talking about
you can put it Virginia
Howard.
Union.
We talking about VU. We talking about Virginia State. We talking about NCC State. We talking about, you say NCCU?
That was about to be next one.
NCCU.
NCCU is another one.
Winston-Salem State. We can go down the line from the East Coast, all the way down the East Coast. We can go down the line and give you more than 50. And out of 60 years, you're telling me less than one man from an HBCU was taken per year.
Yep.
So, Prime, I agree with you. But like I said, I like to play the devil's advocate. You can't push with false truth. Using the knowledge we just spoke of, this is my conversation to my boys. Fellas, absolutely, we run this league. Absolutely, we built this country. Absolutely, y'all can first round, second round draft picks today, easily. But the day and age we are in, the foundation we have to work on right now, you're a sophomore coming from an HBCU. Yes, I'm Prime. Yes, I played there. Yes, I know you can play in this league. But is the league, those white men signing those checks, billionaires, are they going to look at you outside of anything but a business decision?
Nope.
And a sophomore coming from a college that does not produce football players, is it worth drafting?
Nope.
So, Prime, my argument to you, my friend, and I agree with what you said, but my argument to you, to be the full mentor, you got to give both sides. And I know you do, but I felt you kind of lacklustered in this one. Yes, they can have the decision to leave, but did you give them the full understanding of what this league is all about, the business behind it?
Nah, he just his mindset was to prepare you for the NFL, but not prepare. I don't think he fully thought of the business side to teach. He thought of the intangibles, all the little things physically and maybe mentally as far as football and how to get you to the league. But I don't think he fully told you how, from the business side, how you need to think, how you need to maneuver
in corporate America.
Around these guys.
Let's be real. It's corporate America, bro. I know most of y'all growing up, right, will walk in and your mother will pick up the phone and she'd have a different voice, right, for certain people. Some of us called it a work voice. Some of us called it business voice. My mama called it her white voice.
Mine too.
It would go from a hood, half Baltimore, half Norfolk, Virginia girl to a hi. Oh no.
How you doing
How
today?
you doing today?
With a big smile. That's the best way. That's the best way to get the voice out. You gotta have a smile.
You have to understand how to play the field. Jamar just said it perfectly. Prime taught the kids how to get ready for the league, but did not teach them fully how to get ready for the business. And that is where I fall with his argument. I agree with Prime wholeheartedly, fully, but that's where I fall in that argument.
Yeah.
I'm glad we took the kid. I'm sure more will come from here on out.
I'm hoping he makes the team.
But
I mean, we'll see. But
they need to know that lesson.
Yeah.
Absolutely need to know that lesson.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going. You'll learn with time, but
Absolutely.
just know time ain't always your friend. So
yeah, y'all. So we appreciate you guys spending time with us.
we do, but
We talked about a lot. Oh, we got more.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna make it quick because I got.
This must be about the Buccaneers.
You know it is.
He shut me up.
You know what it is.
I'm across my leg.
Let me tell y'all something. The Buccaneers had a great draft. Now, they didn't do what I wanted them to do in the first round, which was get an offensive lineman. Granted, they couldn't really do it by the time they picked because all three of the best offensive tackles were gone. But I'll tell you what, they did pick up a bunch of speed. A lot of speed. First round, Kalijah Cansey.
And I love that pick.
I loved it, and it's funny because I was like, who the hell is that? Come to find out, did some research. He was the number 2 defensive tackle. He had the fastest 40 time of anyone who weighs over 260 pounds, a 4.67.
This is still kind of slow, but
still
for a D tackle, still pushing for a D tackle at over 2.
And like what people don't, he's got that first step.
Yeah,
he's got one of the quickest first steps I've ever seen. He can get into that backfield real quick. So that's number 1. Number 2, we did get an offensive lineman. I think he's more of a guard, but Cody Mock from North Dakota State. Yes,
okay.
Yes, they grabbed him.
I've seen tape on him. He's good.
He's a mauler. He's a mauler. He's Ryan Jensen, baby form. That's and he's got the red. That man got a gap. He got like his tooth, like his
Power to the Gap Nation, shorty.
Gone.
Power to the Gap Nation. Did you just say he's Ryan Jensen's baby?
He's a baby Ryan Jensen.
That's what same thing. I mean, oh no,
it's not
in that context.
But they got the red. They both got the red hair. They're both maulers. I love. He gets his hands on you and he goes. Y'all. I know y'all seen The Blind Side, right? You know that's based off of Michael Orr, former Baltimore Raven. In that movie, when he took the kid and he just pushed him all the way to the bleachers and threw him, and they asked him where he's going, I sent him to the bus. That is what the Bucs are getting in Cody Mock, and I love it.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case too.
Yep.
I've seen the tape. Wouldn't be surprised.
And I'll just name one more name: Yaya Diaby from Louisville.
Yeah, as Kendrick will say, yeah.
Drafted another. This team, they got a bunch of speed, which is what they needed not only for defense, because we need pass rush. Our best sack master for last season was Vita Vea. Our leader in sacks was our defensive tackle with 4.5 sacks. Yeah, that's bad.
America, I just really did not know that. And the fact that he said that, go talk to somebody that really knows football to put that in comparison.
That's bad.
That ain't good.
That's bad. That means you're really not getting to the quarterback. And that's why they had to go out and get all these edge rushers and do what they had to get all this speed to be able to get to the quarterback. I love these picks. They're all great picks. They're all great decisions. I don't know how well the Bucs will fare in their division.
Because I'm just about to be that bitch for you.
Look,
I'm gonna ask you. Okay, defensively, you guys have bolstered up for the future. Definitely,
Mhm.
you have
Mhm.
bodies on the defense that can solidify the next 4 to 5 years. I like it. So, what my question to you, my friend, is that your organization and the picks that they've had, is that their confirmation that they do not trust what they'll be able to do on offense, and that they're looking to hopefully hold teams defensively so that they can hopefully run the ball a couple times to get a touchdown or two?
I don't think it was about whether we think the offense can score or not. I think it was about getting overall being a better team. And what I mean by that
Okay.
is the players that they got, they drafted linebackers. They drafted people who can be on special teams.
Yeah.
We were god awful on covering special teams last year.
But you don't want to take a top defender and put him on
No,
special teams.
he's gonna be in there with Vita Vea.
Okay.
That's gonna be in the mix. Him
Bad,
as
okay.
well as Yaya, they are all in the mix for being on that front line.
I see
With
what you're
Joe,
saying. So
Tryon,
use the
Schminker.
speed interchangeably between the defense special teams.
Yes.
Got
I
you.
think
Okay.
the offense is going to be mid-tier. I don't think it's going to be that great. I'm not going to say they're going to be 25, 26. I think we'll run the ball
Who's
better.
throwing the ball for you guys? Do you know?
It's gonna
Don't
be,
laugh. I'm literally asking. I don't know who's starting.
It's just funny to me because I like.
Who's the conversation?
I
Who do
think
they-
right now,
who do they want?
The starter right now is Baker.
Baking
But-
cakes.
Yes, but it is a true quarterback competition between Baker and Kyle Trask.
The fact that a former first round overall pick,
Number one.
number 1, been in the league for 6 years, is in a quarterback competition
Third year.
with a junior.
He was a
He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore. Say no.
He's
they
a
drafted him in
sophomore,
2021.
yeah.
So yeah.
Because
So,
I wanted Kyle Trask last year.
you did.
Yeah, like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Because
like,
Brady won us a ring, and then in that draft, the 2021, they went and got Kyle
Yeah.
Trask. Yeah.
KTZ.
So that's going to be the battle. I think it's going to be more run oriented than passing. So
Okay.
I think that's going to help a lot, especially since they took the kid from Seattle.
All right,
To be
so
an
in
offensive
the
coordinator.
perfect world, give me your starting quarterback week 1. And give me how you're running your offense and defense week 1.
I'm going to say week 1 is probably going to be Baker. I'm going to roll.
Best
and
case
say,
scenario, if you saying Baker, because he's the vet.
Yeah.
I agree. I would
I'm
start him
saying
too.
Baker, you're the vet. You got some grit to you. You can play, but you need an offense around you. We saw why it worked in Cleveland because what did they do? Run the ball.
Yeah.
So they grabbed. We still got Rashad White. We still got Keyshawn Bond, and they added the young
the
kid,
kid
out of,
from
Syracuse.
Which I like, and y'all got him super late, but he should have been gone
He should've
well
been gone.
prior.
Had it not been for health reasons, he would have been gone.
Yep.
But they signed him as an undrafted,
Rookie free agent.
Free agent.
Mhm.
I think he'll make the team because
Oh,
we need
absolutely.
backs.
If not, he'll be a scat.
You know what's crazy? I told you this before, but we signed another back, the kid from the Cardinals. They he got 10 touchdowns for him. Sorry, I apologize. You're right. I did
From
get
the
him.
Cardinals? Recently, you guys
They
just
signed.
signed
They
another
signed.
back?
It was during like the off season. It was before the
Okay, and I don't, bro. So y'all
Chase Edmonds. It was Chase Edmonds.
Oh,
There we go. I knew it was gonna click because he went from That wasn't Chase Edmonds. That was
It wasn't Chase Edmonds.
That was Kenyon Drake. He went from like Arizona to Miami. Like
Okay.
that's where Chase Edmonds had come from. I do remember that much.
Hmm.
So that's another back in the room. I don't know how well he'll fare. I feel like he's gonna fall out of favor. I think he'll probably be more of I'll say he's more of a pass block type. running back.
So it sounds like you're willing to slow the game down. You're looking to slow the game down.
That's my
Run the
anticipation.
ball, play as well as defense as well as we can on defense as
Mhm.
possible. Try to get to the quarterback as much as possible is what you're looking at.
Right.
Keep the
That's-
game within 3 points, scoring opportunity.
If we can
Make
keep it
easy.
within 3 to 7, like we have a chance to win games. But once it gets 10, once you hit double digits, I think we'll have a little bit of an issue.
What's y'all wide receivers core? Y'all still got Chris Godwin?
Chris Godwin, Mike
Okay.
Evans is still there. Russell Gage is still there. They added Kurt Warner's kid, another
Bruh.
undrafted. They added him. Yeah.
I hope Baker stays healthy. Because if he does, I think he'll be able to use those weapons.
Oh, absolutely.
He'll throw a pick every game.
I mean,
And a fumble. Or 2 picks. But I think he'll be able to use those weapons to keep y'all ahead of the fucking Saints.
the Saints, the Falcons. It's going to be ahead of something.
I mean, every one of y'all's division has no quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. And the ones that do is a rookie.
Is a rookie.
Bryce Young, which that's one thing.
All right, now don't sleep on Carolina.
I'm not. No. I'm not.
Right,
I'm not. I'm just
Bryce
saying
is coming in fucking the league.
Bryce is going to
with
be a
no
problem.
lube, bro.
Bryce is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, we also grabbed a tight end. We grabbed a tight end and a wide receiver.
You did.
Trey Palmer is the wide receiver, and then we
Okay.
got Payne Durham.
So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
I'm
do you
glad they-
feel you should get more depth in that wide receiver tight end market, or you feel like that'll solidify you guys to
I
work
like
around?
what we have because this is another back to speed. Trey Palmer, straight up speed.
Yeah.
Payne Durham, he's not the speed guy, but he's hands.
Yeah.
He's a big body. He's got hands.
So
I'm
he's
not calling him
one-
Gronk by any means, but he's got that body size to be able to get to the ball.
Quite
and put
frankly,
his
that's
hands on the
one
ball.
that quarterbacks love. I don't care where I throw
Yeah.
it up. You got it.
got him. You have Kate Otten and you have Cole Keith, who is the run blocking tight end who can also pass catch. So I like the tight end room. I like the wide receiver room. I think the wide receiver class is good. I think offensively we're pretty good. It's just that snakehead. We need to make sure that the quarterback is in tune with everything and it's not, a disaster. And we're sitting here trying to figure out who we are as a team. Like,
Yeah.
we need to be a run first team. We need to be a form of the Seahawks. If I want to be frank, we're going to have to be a form of the Seahawks where it's all about zone run and pass when not necessarily when necessary, but have the ability to pass, but be more run effective.
I hope your boy is smart enough to scheme an offense like that.
It's
I
a
haven't
wait and
seen
see thing.
a well-schemed offense in Tampa since y'all won a Super Bowl. And quite frankly, we've had this conversation, and he knows America. That was Brady. That was Brady's knowledge. So, it's interesting to see what y'all going to do. I hear you. I love what y'all did, though. I love what y'all did. I can see the slow progression. I don't feel you'll be as bad as you're thinking. I honestly feel you'll be upper middle pack.
Okay.
9-win team.
Somewhere in the 15 up. Range.
8 to 9 win team.
That's where I'm looking. Like
I don't, and when you lose, I don't think you'll lose badly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you'll be a team that's gonna get ran over. I think you're gonna be a team that's gonna need a couple years to figure out what they do best. And if I'm being honest, I don't think it stands with your quarterback position. I feel like y'all can plug and play any type of quarterback. Tampa, to me, has always been a very emotional, sporadic team. You know what we always say, history repeats itself.
Yes, it does.
When y'all had squads, you were always running a squad behind a running back, a wide out, or a safety. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
We can go through,
When we
because
were
Mr.
really
Barber was
successful-
quite nasty.
Yeah, when we were successful, obviously the defense was nasty, but we had really that power cowbell running back, Mike Allstott.
Yeah.
And then you had your finesse guy in, Cadillac Williams, or at that time with Allstott, it was Michael Pittman.
That you always had something that put you above the pass game. Where, and I keep pushing back to history because I'm so big on history. Like, history repeats itself. You can only read and see it. When you guys decided in a Bruce Arians form to go to an aerated offense, drafting old boy Jameis Winston, how did that go? It looked pretty for 2 quarters.
Every time. Every time. It never failed.
And this is coming from a
Every
fanatic
time.
who's watched every single one of their games, all 60 minutes.
Mr. 30 for 30. And if y'all
30
don't know,
touchdown, 30 picks.
I can't wait for that to be a legitimate ESPN 30 for 30.
Literally, it
I
needs to
can't
be a
wait
30
for
for
it.
30.
It's gotta
Because
be.
you want to be a first ballot Hall of Fame? Nope. Let's go to the 30 for 30 tape. 30 picks, 30 touchdowns
He
means
ain't been
nothing.
the same since, because he had a decent little mini run with the Saints, and then ironically against the Bucks, he got
That's a
hurt.
50% QBR.
Yeah.
Let's do the math.
6 games. That's it.
So
and he was like 4-2 or 5-1, something like that. But
when y'all decide to put your heart and soul in a quarterback and put the team around it, it does not work. It worked for Brady because Brady's different. But it did not work the second year. And you did the same thing. Put your heart and soul around him, knowing he was going through some shit.
And passed like 40 times a game. It was like running the ball was... It's not even that like you couldn't... It's like half the time they didn't even try.
It didn't even make sense. Like, why the fuck are y'all... Wait, why aren't you? Like, it's 1 yard. Why are we in a shotgun? That's Brady.
Yard.
I need y'all to get back to the basic. Y'all get y'all Ricky Williams back there again, bro.
I can't wait for it. But that's going to do it for us because I know we ran over our time today. But that's going to do it for us on this week of the Hitch and Hook podcast.
Yes, sir. Y'all know it.
You know. We'll be back this week, or I'm sorry, next week, the week after, and every other week.
He ain't double booking us. I don't do that.
I don't do that. I don't even know why.
So y'all know, we'll be back next Thursday. Same time, same place, same shit, different day.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know where to go. What we gonna do, we'll probably bring you the same format. Probably come through with some of our... Because we weren't able to get into all of our teams today.
Yeah.
So we'll come back with some of our other teams, some of our top picks from the last week's draft. You know, break into how we feel they will, you know, add to their new teams and if that's a hindrance or something that would help. So, look, we appreciate y'all staying with us today. As he said, we went over time, but I know y'all had fun. That's what we do here on the Hitch and Hook podcast. We talk shit. We bring you back to reality just to talk shit some more. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, America, we love y'all. Have a drink. Y'all know we y'all boys. I'm Nick Ransom.
I'm Jamar Smith.
You catch us next week. Hit us up on all of our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit us up. If you got a team that you want us maybe to talk about, maybe you're a Bengals fan. You see what's going on behind us. Maybe you're a Bengals fan. Y'all want to talk about Joe Burrow and him getting his money and all that good stuff.
Chase
and Jamar Chase.
And what they're going to do with the other wide receiver that they got. They have us a lot of pieces.
Yeah, or even if you want to talk about the Chiefs, if they did enough in this year's draft to stay afloat within the AFC West. Hit us up on all our social medias. We'll definitely bring you up, talk about it. But like I said, we want to definitely thank y'all. Of course, again, that's Jamar Smith. I'm Nick Ransom. This is our Hitch and Hook podcast, the off-season edition, live and in the flesh. We'll catch y'all next week. Y'all stay safe.
Yes, sir.